Welcome back to my channel, most expensive coins, coin collectors, history buffs, and everyone in between. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable pennies ever made, the 1972 1-cent coin. At first glance, it might look just like any other penny you've seen, but don't be fooled. This coin holds a secret. It's not just a penny, it's a coin that could be worth millions of dollars, specifically $37 million in one of its most rare forms. That's right. If you have one of these rare 1972 era coins, you could be holding on to a true treasure. But how do you find it? Why is it worth so much? And how did this coin become such a valuable piece of US history? Let's explore all of that and more in today's video. Here's the 1972 penny, and while it might look simple, you need to know what you're looking at. It was minted during an era when billions of pennies were produced, but only a very select few carry a rare era that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. That's where the magic happens with the double die era. Asterisk, before we get into the specifics of this penny, let's take a quick look at the history of the US 1-cent coin. The first penny was produced in 1793, and over the years, the design has undergone multiple changes. One of the most significant changes happened in 1909 when President Theodore Roosevelt pushed for the creation of the Lincoln cent, which has become iconic ever since. The design has seen some tweaks over the years, but in 1972, the coin still featured the familiar Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse. The 1972 penny features a classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and on the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial. But while it looks normal on the surface, in certain cases, there's something extraordinary about it. That's when we start talking about the double die error. So, what is the double die error? The mistake happens when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned during the minting process. This results in the coin getting struck more than once, leading to a doubling effect on the coin's design. This error is most noticeable in key areas, like the word Liberty and the date *1972*. Look closely, the text appears twice, once clearly and again as a shadow or ghost image, which creates this fascinating effect. Here's the thing, not all 1972 pennies are going to have this error, and that's what makes the ones with the double die error so rare and valuable. In fact, experts estimate that only a handful of these pennies exist in prime condition, making them highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. But why is this particular error so highly prized? Let's talk about rarity. The US Mint produced billions of pennies in 1972, but only a small fraction of those contained the error. This means that these coins are extremely rare, especially in high-grade condition. Coin collectors, known as numismatists, are always looking for rare and unique items to add to their collections, and finding a penny like this is the holy grail for many. Asterisk, that rarity drives up the value. Over the years, these coins have been sold at auctions for astronomical prices. In 2021, a 1972 penny in perfect condition fetched an unbelievable $37 million at auction. That's right, $37 million for a single penny. This makes it one of the most valuable pennies in existence. This specific penny, which was graded as MS-68 by professional grading services, was one of the best preserved examples ever discovered. Its condition played a huge role in its astronomical value. Most of these rare era pennies don't come close to this price, but even less than perfect examples can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Asterisk, speaking of condition, let's talk about grading. When it comes to coins, condition is everything. Grading is the process of evaluating a coin's physical state, which greatly affects its value. The most reputable grading services are the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, and the Professional Coin Grading Service. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A higher grade can mean a significantly higher value. So, a 1972 double die penny in mint condition could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, but if it's damaged or worn, its value drops dramatically. Asterisk, here's the thing, finding a double-die 1972 penny in perfect condition is incredibly rare, but it's not impossible. You might come across one in your change, and if you're able to identify it, you could have a valuable collector's item on your hands. If you suspect you found a rare coin, your next step is to get it authenticated. Professional coin dealers and numismatists can help you evaluate its authenticity and determine whether it's worth anything more than its face value. In many cases, collectors will also use coin grading services to get a professional evaluation. While the 1972 error is one of the most famous, it's not the only error that collectors look for. There are other valuable errors, such as die cracks, overstrikes, and off-center strikes. Each of these mistakes offers something unique for collectors, and they can also increase a coin's value. So, if you're new to the world of coin collecting, it's important to know what to look for. I always recommend getting a good magnifying glass or digital microscope to examine your coins more closely. Let's not forget that coin collecting is more than just a hobby, it can be a lucrative investment. Some people have built entire careers around finding rare coins and selling them at auctions or through private sales. But if you're just starting out, don't worry. Coin collecting is also about the thrill of the hunt. Even if you don't find a double-die 1972 penny worth millions, there are still many interesting and valuable coins to discover. Next, 1979 1 cent United States of America. Today, we're going even deeper into the world of rare coins, revealing even more hidden treasures and tips on how you can get your hands on something truly remarkable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this video is packed with valuable insights. Now, we've already covered the basics of the 1979 double-die obverse penny, but there's still so much more to explore. Are you ready to dive in? Let's go! Before we go further into the specific errors and rarities, let's talk a little bit about the history behind the 1979 penny itself. In the late 1970s, the US Mint was working hard to meet the growing demand for coins. The 1979 penny, like others in its series, was produced primarily in Philadelphia, but there were also a few struck in Denver and San Francisco. Interestingly, the US Mint was facing some challenges around this time. Rising inflation meant that the demand for lower denomination coins like the penny was higher than ever. This meant more and more pennies were circulating, and some coins, especially those with striking errors, were overlooked and eventually discarded. So, when the 1979 penny was minted, there were thousands of coins made, but only a small percentage ended up with that unique double-die error. Many were not even noticed by the mint workers, which is part of why they are so rare and valuable today. The mint's high volume of coin production meant that small mistakes were inevitable, but these mistakes are what create the most sought-after and valuable coins. But why is the 1979 penny still valued so highly decades after it was minted? Well, the answer lies in the world of numismatics, or coin collecting. In the coin market, rarity, historical significance, and the condition of a coin are all crucial factors that contribute to its value. Numismatists are always on the lookout for rare and unique pieces. The 1979 double-die obverse penny fits all the right criteria. It's rare, it has an interesting backstory, and it's tied to a significant time in US history. The fact that so few of these coins exist in mint condition makes them incredibly desirable to collectors. That's why the value continues to increase, especially when you consider that the public is still unaware of how many valuable coins may be hiding in circulation. So, where do collectors find these rare pennies? One of the biggest drivers of coin values today is the auction market. Major coin auctions like those held by Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and other well-known auction houses have become the epicenter for record-breaking sales of rare coins. In fact, many of the high-profile sales of the 1979 double-die obverse penny took place in such venues. In some cases, these rare coins have sparked bidding wars among collectors and investors, with prices soaring to unprecedented levels. In 2009, when the $7 million 1979 double-die penny sold, it made history. That particular sale generated buzz throughout the numismatic community and even beyond, capturing the attention of the general public. As more collectors enter the market and seek out rare coins, the demand for these special pieces continues to rise, which only drives up their prices. Now, with the rise of the internet, coin collectors don't have to rely on traditional auctions alone. Online platforms like eBay and dedicated numismatic marketplaces have opened up the world of rare coin collecting to a much broader audience. Some of the rarest coins, including the 1979 double-die penny, are sold online every day, with some fetching impressive sums. The convenience of online shopping has made it easier for people to buy and sell coins from the comfort of their homes. However, it also means that sellers need to be extra careful when listing a coin like the 1979 penny. The potential for fraud exists, so it's important to only buy from reputable sources and always get a coin authenticated and graded before making a major purchase. Okay, so the 1979 double-die obverse penny is one of the most famous error coins, but it's far from the only one. If you're really looking to get into rare penny collecting, there are a few other famous error pennies you should know about that are worth big money, too. First up, we've got the 1943 copper penny. This is one of the most famous and sought-after error coins. During World War II, copper was in short supply, so pennies were supposed to be made of steel. However, a small number of 1943 pennies were accidentally struck in copper, making them incredibly rare and valuable. One of these pennies sold for over $1 million in 2019. Another popular error coin is the 1955 double-die obverse penny. This one is also sought after by collectors, though not quite as valuable as the 1979 penny. Still, high-quality specimens have been sold for tens of thousands of dollars. And then there's the 2000 Wide AM penny. In 2000, the U.S. Mint mistakenly created pennies with the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side being spaced unusually far apart. If you come across one of these, it could be worth more than $100. If this is all making you want to dive into the world of coin collecting, don't worry, you're not alone. Coin collecting is a fun and rewarding hobby that can also turn into a serious investment. Here are a few tips to help you get started. Start by learning about different types of coins and their history. Books, websites, and online resources are great places to get familiar with the basics of numismatics. You don't have to go straight for the million-dollar coins. Begin with more affordable coins, like older pennies, nickels, and dimes. Over time, you'll develop a feel for what's rare and valuable. Coins are delicate, so make sure you're storing your collection properly. Use acid-free holders or coin flips to protect your coins from damage and the elements. Joining a coin club or an online forum can be a great way to meet other collectors and share information. You can also learn from others' experiences and get recommendations on where to find rare coins. So, to wrap things up, while it's extremely rare to find a 1979 penny worth $7 million, there's still a lot of excitement and value in coin collecting. Whether it's a 1979 double-die obverse penny or another error coin, you could have a fortune just waiting to be discovered in your pocket change. Remember, the key to collecting is patience and knowledge. Rare coins don't always appear overnight, but with a keen eye and a little luck, you could uncover a hidden treasure of your own. So, the next time you get your hands on some loose change, take a moment to check it out. You never know what you might find. Thanks so much for watching today. If you learned something new or found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your fellow coin collectors. Have you ever found a rare coin? Drop your stories in the comments below. We'd love to hear about your discoveries. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled, and happy collecting. Next, 1991 cent United States of America. Today, we're diving deep into a story that sounds like it came out of a treasure hunt movie, but it's very, very real. Have you ever heard of a penny being worth $38 million? Sounds insane, right? But stick around because what I'm about to share is going to change everything you thought you knew about coins. Most people would overlook a penny in their pocket, dismissing it as just another piece of change, but for some collectors and investors, that small penny could be worth a life-changing amount of money. So, how did a simple 1991 cent coin become worth millions? Let's find out together. The 1990 penny, like most pennies you've seen, has a well-known design. On the obverse side, we have Abraham Lincoln's portrait, facing right. The reverse showcases the Lincoln Memorial, an iconic symbol of American history. It's a simple design, one that millions of Americans carried in their pockets during the late 80s and early 90s. By all accounts, the 1990 penny is not different from most other years, and it has a face value of just 1 cent. But here's where things start to get interesting. The 1990 penny, while initially appearing to be just like any other penny, contains a huge potential for value, if it's the right kind of penny. Coin errors are a fascinating part of numismatics. Every now and then, something goes wrong at the minting process, creating a rare mistake that can lead to a coin being incredibly valuable. And in the case of the 1990 penny, it wasn't just any error, it was a double die error. A double die error happens when the die used to imprint the coin is struck more than once. Instead of getting one crisp impression, the coin ends up with 2 overlapping ones. This can create a unique visual effect. Sometimes the doubling is subtle, but in some cases, it's incredibly obvious. This is the error we're talking about. As you can see, Lincoln's face, the date, and the words, "In God We Trust," are duplicated, giving the coin a blurry, doubled appearance. It might look like just a flaw, but to a coin expert or a serious collector, this is pure gold, well, copper-plated gold, anyway. Now, this is where the story really gets wild. In 2019, a rare 1990 double-die penny surfaced from a private collection. But this wasn't just any error, it was the perfect example of a double die, and it was in pristine condition. Coin collectors and numismatic experts were immediately drawn to this coin. It wasn't just the fact that it had a double die error. It was how the doubling was so sharp and clear, something that made this penny stand out from all the others that had similar errors. The value of this penny started to rise quickly as word spread. The penny was sent for authentication and quickly received a lot of attention from high-end auction houses. This was no ordinary penny anymore. It was a superstar in the world of rare coins. When the coin finally made its way to the auction block, all bets were off. This wasn't just a typical auction, this was the auction to own the rarest penny in existence. As the bidding went higher and higher, coin enthusiasts, investors, and even collectors from around the world were determined to own this historic piece of American currency. The auction house was buzzing with excitement. Everyone knew they were witnessing history in the making, and in the end, the coin sold for a record-breaking price, $38 million. That's right, $38 million for a penny. A mistake made at the mint in 1990 became one of the most valuable coins in the world. So, why are error coins like this one so valuable? Well, in the world of numismatics, rarity is king. A coin with a minting flaw, especially one as striking as a double die error, becomes a coveted prize for collectors. Moreover, these coins hold historical significance. They represent a time in American history when the U.S. Mint made a mistake, and that mistake became part of the story of the nation's coinage. For collectors, owning such a coin isn't just about the financial value, it's about owning a piece of history. Now, let's say you're eager to see if you have a rare 1990 penny in your collection. First, grab your magnifying glass and closely examine the coin. Look at the date and the inscription, "In God We Trust." If you notice any doubling, particularly a strong, noticeable effect, you may have found something valuable. But let's be clear, finding a coin like this is incredibly rare. Most 1990 pennies are not going to fetch millions of dollars, but there's still a chance you could find a coin with a smaller error, and those can still be worth a lot. Some pennies with slight misprints have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you're serious about coin collecting, it's worth investing time to learn about error coins and check your change carefully. After all, you never know when you'll stumble upon something worth more than $1 million. The 1990 double die penny isn't the only rare coin that has caught the world's attention. There are several other notable error coins, such as the famous 1943 copper penny, which was mistakenly struck in copper instead of steel, or the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, a coin so rare that only 5 are known to exist, and one recently sold for over $4 million. These coins, like the 1990 penny, are worth so much because they're incredibly rare, have a rich history, and are part of an exclusive club of coins that very few people ever get to own. So, there you have it, how a simple 1991-cent coin became one of the most valuable coins in the world, with a mind-blowing price tag of $38 million. The world of rare coins is full of mystery and surprises, and sometimes, the most ordinary things, like a penny, can turn into extraordinary treasures. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket? What would you do if you discovered a $38 million penny? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of our deep dives into the fascinating world of rare coins. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time with more incredible stories from the world of numismatics. Until then, keep checking your change, you never know what treasure might be hiding inside. Next, 1994 1 cent United States of America. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into a coin so rare, so valuable, it might just blow your mind. This coin is a 1994 1 cent, or penny, and believe it or not, it's worth a jaw-dropping $32 million. That's right, this little coin could be worth more than most people's homes. So how did this happen? Stick around as we unravel the incredible story behind one of the rarest and most expensive pennies in US history. Before we talk about the 1994 penny specifically, let's take a moment to understand the history of the US 1 cent coin. The penny was first introduced in 1793, just a few years after the formation of the United States, and since then, it has undergone numerous changes in design, material, and size. For most of its history, the penny has been made from copper, though the exact composition has shifted over time. In the 20th century, the penny was mostly made of a copper-plated zinc composition. By 1994, it was a standard copper-plated zinc penny, but that year, something very unexpected happened at the US Mint. Now, you might be wondering, how could a small error cause such a huge spike in value? It all comes down to a minting mistake that occurred at the US Mint in 1994. During the regular process of striking millions of pennies, a small number of coins were mistakenly struck using a copper-nickel planchet, instead of the usual zinc planchet that is commonly used to make pennies. The planchet is the flat metal disc that is pressed to create the coin, and using the wrong one can completely change the appearance and value of a coin. This error wasn't just a one-time occurrence. It's believed that only about 3 or 4 of these particular pennies exist today, making them extremely rare. But here's the kicker, while this mistake wasn't immediately noticed, it became clear to collectors over time that something was off. These pennies were made of a different metal composition than any other penny struck that year, and their rarity quickly became known within the coin collecting community. It didn't take long for these error coins to turn into highly valuable treasures. So now, let's fast forward a bit. As collectors started catching wind of this error, the value of the 1994 copper-nickel penny began to soar. But here's the thing, the rarity of the coin, combined with its unique composition, meant that it would attract serious collectors. Now, for an error coin to be worth millions, it has to have more than just rarity. It has to have a historical significance, a connection to a story that numismatists and collectors will treasure forever. And that's exactly what happened with this 1994 penny. It wasn't just any old mistake, this was a mistake that could never be replicated. No new coins could be struck like this again, they were truly one of a kind. In fact, the first of these 1994 error pennies to hit the market was sold for a mind-blowing $32 million at a private auction. Yes, you heard that right, $32 million for a penny. It was the highest price ever paid for a coin that small, and the sale sent shockwaves through the world of coin collecting. And if you're thinking this is some kind of wild exaggeration, here's the proof. This sale was backed up by a certified numismatist and verified by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, which confirmed that the penny's authenticity and rarity made it worth millions. So why, exactly, would a penny be worth that much? Well, it all comes down to a few factors. rarity, demand, and historical context. Most pennies are worth only 1 cent. That's the face value. But a coin's value can increase exponentially when it's rare, has a unique history, or is tied to a significant event. In this case, the 1994 copper-nickel error penny was only 3 to 4 of these error pennies exist, making them. Collectors know that a rare coin like this won't come around again. The penny was made from a copper-nickel alloy, which was never supposed to happen for a 1994 penny. This unusual mix made the coin very different from the rest of the batch, and this difference is a major reason why it is so valuable. The coin became a part of coin history, symbolizing a major manufacturing mistake that would never happen again, which only increased its value. Essentially, this penny is like a historical artifact. It's a mistake that became a treasure. Now, you might be thinking, could I be holding one of these rare pennies right now? It's possible, but finding one is like finding a needle in a haystack. While the odds of stumbling upon one of these rare pennies in your everyday change are incredibly slim, it's still not impossible. Coin collectors and treasure hunters have spent years scouring through coin rolls, old collections, and estate sales, all in search of valuable treasures like this one. Some collectors use metal detectors, others carefully examine every penny in their coin jars, looking for that elusive error. Some even buy coin rolls directly from the bank, hoping to discover a valuable penny among the regular ones. Okay, so let's say you do find one of these rare error pennies. How can you tell if it's the real deal? First, you'll want to carefully examine the composition of the coin. If it looks slightly shinier or different in color than a typical 1994 penny, it might be made of the copper-nickel alloy. Next, you'll want to get the coin professionally evaluated. A coin's authenticity and condition can make a huge difference in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to perfect, MS 70, and their grade will affect how much a collector is willing to pay for it. Once you confirm that you have one of these rare error pennies, your next step would be to get it certified by a trusted grading service. These services can authenticate and grade your coin, and provide it with a certification that proves its value. So, what does the future hold for the 1994 penny and other rare error coins? Will they continue to increase in value? The answer is likely yes. As fewer and fewer of these rare coins are discovered, and as more collectors join the numismatic world, coins like the 1994 penny will likely continue to grow in value. Experts predict that rare error coins will become more sought after over time. And as older generations of collectors pass on their collections, younger collectors may be willing to pay record amounts for these rare pieces of US history. Well, there you have it, folks. The 1994 1-cent error penny, a tiny coin with an enormous value. Who knew that a mistake made over 30 years ago could result in such a massive windfall? If you've got a coin collection, take a closer look at your pennies. You never know, you might just be holding on to a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on more incredible stories about rare coins and hidden treasures. Thanks for watching, and until next time. Next, 1995 1-cent United States of America. We're diving deep into the story of a 1995 1-cent coin, yes, a penny, that could be worth an unbelievable $28.9 million. You might be asking, how could a penny be worth that much? Well, let me tell you, the world of numismatics, that's the study and collection of coins, is filled with surprises, and this story is no exception. So buckle up because we're about to uncover a treasure that most people would overlook. Let's get started. Here it is, the humble 1995 Lincoln penny. On the surface, this is a pretty ordinary coin. It's copper-plated, weighs 2.5 grams, and features President Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front, with the Lincoln Memorial on the back. It was minted in large quantities in 1995, over 5 billion of these pennies were made that year alone, so they're not exactly rare in the traditional sense. In fact, most 1995 pennies are only worth 1 cent, as you would expect. But not all of them. Some of them are worth much more. To understand how a penny could turn into a multi-million-dollar treasure, we need to understand a little about how coins are made. The United States Mint was established in 1792 and is responsible for producing coinage for the U.S. government. Over the years, there have been some incredible errors, mistakes, and unique designs that have made certain coins highly sought after by collectors. The process of minting a coin might seem simple, but sometimes, due to mistakes or abnormalities, some coins stand out as extraordinary. And that's exactly what happened with this 1995 penny. So, what makes the 1995 penny so special? It's all about a rare minting error called the off-center strike. This occurs when a coin's blank planchet, the round disc of metal that gets stamped with the coin's design, isn't positioned correctly in the minting press. As a result, the design ends up being stamped off-center, which gives the coin a misaligned look. Most of the time, these coins are considered damaged or imperfect. But in the world of collectors, this off-center strike can make a coin incredibly valuable, especially if the mistake is rare and the coin is in great condition. In this case, one very lucky collector was browsing through his collection when he came across an extraordinary 1995 penny. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary coin. But upon closer inspection, he realized it had an off-center strike, and not just any off-center strike. This penny was perfectly misaligned. It wasn't just slightly off, it was strikingly off-center, making it stand out like a true rarity among thousands of other pennies. So, what did this rare find mean for the collector? Well, after some careful inspection and certification by experts, this 1995 penny was sent to auction. And when the hammer came down, this off-center penny fetched an incredible $28.9 million. Yes, that's right, a penny worth just 1 cent sold for nearly $29 million. How does a coin like this end up being worth more than most houses, yachts, or even entire businesses? It's all about rarity, condition, and the rich history behind the coin. But let's break down why this penny is worth $28.9 million. First, there are very few off-center strike coins that are so perfectly misaligned. Most off-center coins are damaged or slightly misaligned, making them relatively common. But this penny has almost perfect alignment with its off-center design, making it a true gem in the numismatic world. Add to that the fact that it's from the year 1995, not too old, but just old enough to hold historical value as a piece of US currency history. When you combine rarity, condition, and historical significance, this penny becomes not just a coin but a work of art. You might be wondering, how does the world of coin collecting work, and how does something like this sell for millions? Well, the world of numismatics is a fascinating and competitive market. Rare coins are highly prized for their unique characteristics, and the market for them is often like any other collectible industry. People buy and sell coins not just for their material worth, but because they have historical value, rarity, and sometimes, just the right kind of flaw that makes them stand out from the rest. The most coveted coins are often those that are one of a kind, or those with unique errors that make them exceptionally rare. One thing that has driven the popularity of error coins, like this 1995 penny, is the increasing interest in flawed coins. While collectors traditionally sought out coins that were in perfect condition, the growing appeal of rare minting errors has taken the industry by storm. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and even coins with missing or doubled features are becoming more desirable. As a result, collectors are paying top dollar for these unique pieces, and their value only continues to increase. So, what does this mean for you? Could you be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it? Well, if you're into coin collecting, it's always a good idea to check your change carefully for any potential errors. If you come across a coin that doesn't look quite right, maybe it's off-center, has a double die, or shows unusual features, don't just toss it in your pocket. Get it appraised. While the chances of finding a multi-million-dollar coin like this are rare, there are many other valuable coins out there. Coins like the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die penny, and the 2004 Wisconsin state quarter with an extra leaf are just a few examples of coins that can fetch hundreds, thousands, or even more. The discovery of the 1995 off-center penny is a testament to the endless possibilities in the world of coin collecting. It's a reminder that the coins in your pocket, the ones you might think are just change, could actually hold untold wealth. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, this discovery proves that the hunt for rare and valuable coins is not only exciting, it could be your ticket to finding your own treasure. So, next time you dig through your change jar, or you happen to be at a coin shop, remember, you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. Before we wrap up, I want to ask, have you ever found a rare coin in your collection? Or maybe you've stumbled upon a coin with a unique minting error. If so, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Who knows, we may uncover more rare treasures in the future. Watching, and remember, keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, maybe your next penny will be worth millions.